This is Max and Mia Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. Really glad you're here with us today. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or you've been with us for a while, we appreciate every single one of you.
Absolutely. And hey, if you're enjoying what we do here, the best way to support us is by hitting that like button and subscribing. It genuinely makes a difference, and it helps more people find the show.
Right, so without making this longer than it needs to be, today's episode is one we've been looking forward to for a bit. We have two guests joining us, Matthew and Rachel, who are going to be with us throughout the whole episode.
And trust me, you'll want to stick around for this one. What they're bringing to the table today is going to be really useful, especially if you're working on taking your speaking skills to the next level. So, let's get into it.
Hey everyone, really happy to be here. My name is Matthew, and joining me today is Rachel.
Hi, great to be here. Looking forward to this one.
So today we're talking about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention when it comes to language learning, and that's shadowing. If you've never heard of it, don't worry, we'll break it all down.
Exactly. We're going to cover what shadowing actually is, how to do it properly, because there's definitely a right way and a not so right way, and how it can help you improve your speaking overall.
And one of the things we really want to touch on is pronunciation. A lot of people focus on accent, trying to sound American or British or whatever. But here's the thing. Your accent is yours, and that's completely fine. What actually matters is being clear, being understood. That's where good pronunciation comes in.
Right. You don't need to sound like someone else. You just need to be understood. And shadowing is honestly one of the best tools out there to get you there. So let's get into it. But before we explain the theory, Matthew, I think we should issue a challenge to everyone listening right now.
I love this. Yes, let's throw them right into the deep end. Listeners, wherever you are right now, whether you're riding the subway, lying in bed, or waiting in line at the bank, we want you to start practicing right this second.
That's right. For the rest of this episode, we want you to be our echo. Pick either my voice or Matthew's voice and literally repeat what we say, just a split second after we say it. And hey, if you are at the bank right now, you can just whisper or mumble so people don't look at you funny.
You don't even need to worry about what the words mean right now. Just focus on the melody of our voices. How does my pitch go up? How does it go down? When I take a breath, you take a breath.
You are basically becoming our shadow. That is literally what this technique is. As I speak, you speak along a few seconds later. You try to copy absolutely everything: the intonation, the rhythm, the emotion.
And the reason we are forcing you to do this right now is because speaking a language is not a mental exercise. It is a physical workout. You are using your tongue, your lips, your teeth, and your jaw in completely new patterns that you have never used in your native language.
It really is a workout. People think that if they just memorize grammar rules and 1,000 vocabulary words, they will magically sound fluent. But if you haven't physically trained your mouth muscles to make those specific English sounds, your brain might know the word, but your mouth is going to trip over it.
It's exactly like reading a book about how to swim and then jumping into the ocean and expecting to be an Olympic swimmer. It doesn't work. You have to get in the water. You have to move your muscles. And that brings us perfectly to our first real exercise of the day. Rachel, are you ready to take them to the gym?
Oh, absolutely. Welcome to the Pronunciation Gym, everyone. If we are going to do a serious shadowing workout today, we need to stretch those mouth muscles. And the absolute best way to warm up is with tongue twisters.
Now, I know some of you just rolled your eyes or got nervous. Don't panic. We are not doing tongue twisters to make you feel bad or to confuse you. We use them because they isolate the exact sounds that usually give non-native speakers a really hard time.
Exactly. It's like doing isolation exercises at the gym. We are going to target specific muscles.
For example, one of the biggest struggles for Spanish speakers is the difference between the sh sound and the ch sound, or the short I and the long E. Think of the words ship and sheep.
Ah, that is a classic one. If you don't stretch your mouth into a smile for the word sheep, you end up saying ship. And suddenly, a sentence about a cute farm animal becomes a sentence about a huge boat.
Which can lead to some very funny misunderstandings. So let's practice. I'm going to give you guys a classic tongue twister. I'm going to say it ridiculously slowly first. Remember your challenge. Shadow me. Repeat exactly what I do, exaggerating the movements of your mouth. Ready? Take a breath.
Ready.
She sells seashells by the sea shore.
She sells seashells by the sea shore. You can really feel your lips working hard on that one.
You really do. The shift between the sh in she and the s in sells is a killer. Let's do it one more time, just as slow. Listeners, do not just listen. Speak out loud right now. She sells seashells by the sea shore.
Okay, now let's make it a little bit more dynamic. I'm going to try to say it at a normal conversational speed, and if I mess up, I mess up. That's part of the process. She sells seashells by the seashore.
Nice. Very clear. Now it's the listener's turn. We are going to give you 3 seconds of silence right now. Try to say it out loud as fast and as clearly as you can. Go. Awesome. Even if you got totally tied up and your tongue feels like a knot, that is a good thing. It means you are pushing your boundaries.
Let's do one more before we move on. This one focuses on the B sound and the V sound, a common challenge for many learners because these sounds can be very similar or even merged in some languages. In English, however, they are clearly different. For the V sound, your top teeth must touch your bottom lip. V.
V. Right. It vibrates. So let's try this one. I'll go slow first. Shadow me. A brave vampire bit a big brown bear.
A brave vampire bit a big brown bear. The transition from brave to vampire really forces you to use that bottom lip.
Exactly. Okay, listeners, your turn. Try it at a normal speed. A brave vampire bit a big brown bear.
Great job. You can pause the podcast later and practice these in front of a mirror. Seriously, look at your mouth. If your teeth aren't touching your lip on the V sound, you aren't doing it right. But now that our muscles are officially warmed up, Rachel, we need to address the elephant in the room.
Yes, the biggest frustration every English learner faces. The reason why you can read a perfectly complex English book, but when you watch an American movie, it sounds like an alien language.
The dreaded connected speech, or as a lot of people call it, speaking glued together.
Speaking glued together is the perfect way to describe it, because when we write, every single word has a clear space before and after it. But when native speakers actually talk, we completely ignore those spaces. We glue words together to save time and energy.
We are incredibly lazy with our mouths. We do not speak word by word. We speak in chunks. And if you are trying to listen to an English speaker and your brain is waiting to hear every single individual word clearly, you are going to fall behind instantly.
Let's give them a really obvious example. Let's take the question, what are you going to do? If you read it on a piece of paper, it is 6 separate, distinct words. What are you going to do.
But if we are hanging out at a coffee shop on a Friday afternoon, I am never, ever going to pronounce all 6 of those words perfectly. I would sound like a robot.
Exactly. Instead, I'm going to mash them all together. What are becomes whatcha. Going to becomes gonna. So the whole long sentence shrinks down into 3 quick beats. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Listeners, shadow that right now. Don't think about the spelling, just match the sound. What you gonna do?
Notice how your jaw stays pretty relaxed. You don't have to work hard to say it. And this gluing process happens everywhere. It's not just slang. It's a fundamental rule of English pronunciation.
Let's talk about consonant to vowel linking. This is a huge one. If a word ends in a consonant sound and the very next word begins with a vowel sound, they become one single word.
Like magnets pulling each other.
Exactly, like magnets. For example, if I want to say an apple, I do not stop the air flowing out of my mouth between the N and the A. I don't say an apple. That pause feels unnatural. Instead, I push the N over to the next word. It sounds like an apple, an apple.
Or think about the phrase grab it. It is not grab it. The B slides right over into the I. Grab it. Repeating smoothly, grab it. Can you grab it for me?
Exactly. Shadow that, guys. Grab it. Can you grab it for me? This is why the shadowing technique we are doing today is so incredibly magical. When you stop looking at textbooks and you just use your ears and your voice to copy native speakers, you naturally start doing this connected speech without even realizing it.
You stop trying to pronounce the invisible spaces between the words, and your English instantly sounds 10 times more fluent. You start riding the wave of the sentence instead of fighting against every single word.
But of course, you can't just know this theory, you have to practice it methodically. Which brings us to the core of today's episode. How do you actually sit down in your house and do a shadowing session without getting completely overwhelmed?
This is so important because I see learners getting super motivated. They put on a 2-hour Hollywood movie. They try to shadow the main character for the whole film. And after 10 minutes, their brain melts and they give up forever.
Please do not do that. Shadowing a full movie is like trying to run a marathon on your first day of jogging. You will exhaust yourself and lose your voice. You need a system. You need to do short, focused sets, just like at the gym.
Step number 1 of the routine is finding your material. And this is a make or break decision. You have to choose audio of someone speaking the way you actually want to speak in your real life.
Right. If your goal is to have casual, relaxed conversations with friends or coworkers, do not practice shadowing a 60-year-old politician giving a formal speech to Parliament. You will end up sounding incredibly weird at parties.
Good evening, mate. I formally request a slice of pizza. No. Pick a YouTube vlogger, a lifestyle podcast, or an interview with an actor you really like. Someone who is just chatting naturally.
And here is the golden rule. You only need a clip that is about 30 seconds to 1 minute long. That is all. 1 minute of audio contains enough pronunciation lessons to keep you busy for a whole week.
So, you have your 1-minute clip. Step number 2 is what I call the blind listening phase. Do not look at the subtitles. Do not look at the transcript. Just close your eyes, press play, and listen to that same 1 minute of audio 3, 4, or 5 times in a row.
You're acting like a musician listening to a new song. You're listening for the rhythm. Where does the speaker get loud? Where do they drop their voice and whisper? Where do they use that connected speech we talked about? Where do they say wanna instead of want to?
Once you feel the rhythm of the clip, we move to step number 3. And Matthew, I think you call this the mumbling phase, right?
Yes, the mumbling phase. It looks completely ridiculous if someone watches you doing it, but it is highly effective. You play the audio again, but this time you just hum or mumble along with the speaker.
don't try to form the actual English words yet.
Exactly. Just keep your mouth slightly closed and match their pitch. If their voice goes up, your mumble goes up. You are removing the pressure of vocabulary and grammar, and you are purely internalizing the music and the emotion of the sentence.
It really removes the anxiety. And then finally, we get to step number 4, the actual full shadowing. This is when you bring the text in. You can look at the transcript now, but you have to promise not to stare at it too hard.
The text is just a safety net. You play the audio, and you speak right on top of the native speaker, or just a microsecond behind them. Let your ears guide your mouth, not your eyes. If the text says going to, but your ears clearly hear gonna, you say gonna. Always trust your ears over the text.
And you just loop that 1-minute clip over and over. You do it 5 times, 10 times, until your mouth moves automatically without you having to force it, until it feels easy.
Now, while you are doing this routine, there are a couple of golden rules you have to keep in mind. Otherwise, you're just making noise without actually learning. Rachel, what is the biggest mistake you see people make when they start shadowing?
Parroting, just repeating words like a parrot without actually understanding the context or the emotion behind them.
Oh, yes, the empty echo.
Exactly. If you don't know what the sentence means, you cannot possibly replicate the correct emotion. And intonation is entirely driven by emotion. If the speaker is being sarcastic, their voice moves in a very specific way. If they are excited, it moves differently. If you are just blindly repeating sounds without feeling the meaning, your brain won't retain the pattern.
So, rule number 1. Always understand the vocabulary and the context of the clip before you start shadowing it. Translate the words if you have to. Understand the joke. Feel the emotion.
And rule number 2, you have to record yourself.
The one thing everyone hates doing.
I know. Nobody likes the sound of their own voice on a recording. It is incredibly uncomfortable at first, but you have to do it. Your brain lies to you while you are speaking. In your head, you might think you sound exactly like Brad Pitt or Emma Stone, but when you play the recording back, you realize, oh, wait, I didn't connect those words at all, and my R sound is completely flat.
It is the only objective way to get feedback if you don't have a personal tutor sitting next to you. Use the Voice Memos app on your phone. Record the original speaker, and then record yourself doing the exact same line. Play them back to back. The differences will be brutally obvious, but that is exactly how you fix them.
It's self-correction, and it is the fastest track to fluency. You don't have to record every single session, but try to do it at least once a week so you can actually hear your own progress. Because trust me, after a month of consistent shadowing, you will sound completely different.
Which brings us to the end of our workout today. But we are not just going to say goodbye and let you off the hook. We want action.
Oh yes, we love homework on this podcast.
So here is your challenge for the week. Today, right after this episode finishes, I want you to go to YouTube, find a video from a creator you genuinely enjoy watching, not an English teacher, just a regular native speaker talking about a topic you love, video games, cooking, tech reviews, whatever.
Find a 30-second section of that video, and for the next 5 days, I want you to spend just 10 minutes a day shadowing that exact same 30-second clip. Do the blind listening, do the mumbling, do the full shadowing.
By day 5, you are going to know those lines better than the person who originally said them. You will feel how much smoother your mouth moves. And hey, before we wrap up, we really want to hear from you guys.
Yes, head down to the comments right now and let us know what you thought of today's episode. Did you actually try the tongue twisters with us?
Yeah, be honest. And let us know if you want more episodes like this one. Do you want more pronunciation tips, more interactive exercises, and more connected speech breakdowns? Drop a comment and tell us.
We read all of them, so definitely let us know. It really helps us plan out future episodes and make sure we are giving you exactly what you need.
Well, I think we have given them plenty of work to do today, Rachel. This has been a fantastic session. Thank you all for being our echo today, for stumbling through those tricky sounds with us, and for putting in the effort.
Yes, amazing job, everyone. Keep practicing, keep talking, and don't be afraid to make weird noises while you learn. It's all part of the journey.
Have a great week, guys. We will catch you in the next one. Keep shadowing.